Okay, so the next bit of news that I want to cover is with Perplexity and them launching their new browser. Now, we'll have a quick look at that in a minute, but let's hear some of the things that Aravind's got to say. So we'll go down here now and we'll have a listen to some of the things that he has to say, particularly about what his vision is. So we'll go down here now and put this on.
Working on this product, and so we hope that'll be a good barrier to entry in terms of, like, you know, not just launching the first version of the client, but continual upgrades and continually shipping new things and committing to like a decade of work here.
Yeah,
that's what we
They're talking about the new browser.
So you're obviously
Chromium.
hyper competitive. I can see that. And then Google is going to continue to add AI features into the browser. OpenAI, I think, is rumored they're maybe launching a browser soon. How do you stay competitive? What differentiation do you see as you continue to evolve?
I mean, the argument against Google is the same thing that we've had for core Perplexity was with Google, which is economics. If agents are the ones clicking on links, reading through them, and like making like actual purchase decisions for you, and actually doing the purchases for you, like why are like businesses spending that many billions a year on Google AdWords?
Exactly.
It feels like a complete like failure of the promises you keep to your advertisers, which they're all believing they're getting real human clicks. And a human could just prompt the AI to say, hey, like, you know what, like when you're actually going to Google, ignore all the sponsored links and just click on the real ones, and read all the reviews on like these sites, and go to watch all these YouTube videos, read all the reviews, then click on the best one and buy that stuff for me. And I completely delegated everything to you. Just confirm with me before you buy. If I say this and it spends like, 10 or 15 minutes doing this, it's able to stitch together this long horizon task and comes back to me and says, hey, like, yeah, this is what I found and this is what I think caters to you because this is what you like and care about, and I'm going to go ahead and buy, and like, do you approve it? And it's like, yeah, go ahead. So then why are the other people bidding on this AdWord spending so much money? It's completely pointless for them. They have to spend more on brand advertising more than like performance advertising.
Yeah.
So that is the killer to Google AdWords business, and then why would they ship this at a crazy pace? If you actually noticed the Google I/O last year, this year, they announced Project Mariner. It's all like able to do some of these things, but not entirely, and it's like behind a $250 a month pay plan. Like, it's okay for someone like Perplexity, which is like, an up and coming startup, doesn't have actually the $100 billion cash flow that Google has, to put things behind a $200 a month pay plan. But why is Google doing that? It's because they don't want to sabotage the business, right? They have so much to lose by giving access to like everybody to such a technology.
Exactly. Okay, so the interesting point about that is that backs up exactly everything I've been saying. It's not about just Google Ads anymore, because it's not just one company now. There's multiple companies that will have agents that will go and do work on your behalf. And that's exactly what you're going to do. You want the truth. The agent is looking for the truth, okay? So you need to own the conversation. You need to be out there about your business and your product. That's exactly what he's saying. You need to build your brand. Don't worry about paying for Google links. They're not going to work anymore, all right? So the change is now upon us. When you've got big companies that are producing, like this company that are going to produce a browser. So let's go down and have just a preview. I'll talk because it's just a silent thing about the browser. Let's get out of here for a minute. Okay, so we'll go into, and we'll just have a look at this, all right? I'll move this up here. So this is just the preview on their browser. Okay, so there's no sound on this. It's just so short. Now, it's a very clever move to create a browser because at the moment, we use Chrome, which is based on Chromium, like most of the browsers are. Even Bing is based on that. But by building your own personalized browser, it brings you a step closer to your own personal AI assistant. And it's a little bit of a crossover between what OpenAI are doing with their ability to be able to use an AI agent, because it is all going to become agentic, right? So you'll download this onto your desktop. Privacy is a great thing as well, because being on your local machine and running on your local machine, you'll actually have the ability, not to necessarily go up in the cloud. So they're very clever. They're going to launch this browser, and what this browser will basically do, it will bring even more people to the way of thinking about AI agents and how we get our information. They've got a voice interaction, and I'm pretty sure their voice interaction will be what I talked about, where you're actually talking and coding at the same time. So, yeah, that's interesting. We'll shoot up here and we'll have a listen. He's got another interesting to say here. We'll just have a quick listen to this. I'll maximize this.
Outside the United States. And then even countries like India, there are people paying for tools like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Cursor, Claude. Claude Code especially is like gaining a lot of traction among people here. I've interviewed like engineering candidates who pay like $1,000 a month for Cursor. Sorry, Claude Code.
Yeah.
Because it actually gets them so many hours back, and they can go and spend time with their family and kids. Otherwise, they're just sitting and coding on tight deadlines. It doesn't give them. So if you think your family time is worth that much money, like you're gonna pay for it.
Right. That's a good way to frame it.
Yeah. Like if you think getting time with your loved ones, or like helping you take one more vacation a year, and then you do well in your job, you get promotions, and like it more than makes up for the investment you put into AI tools. People are gonna start thinking about AI as less like, oh, am I paying for Netflix or Spotify, and more like, do I value my life more to like actually have like easier access to money long term. But
okay, as I just said to my LLM a while ago, I rest my case. Okay, so what is going to actually happen is, I just gave you a perfect example of that. Instead of my $20 a month, I'm paying $40 a month now, but I'm being more than twice as productive. So I don't know what the current Netflix or Prime or whatever subscriptions are, but it's not going to take long before people go, well, wait there. If I can save all this extra time by buying intelligence and using AI, it is going to give me, number one, spare time. Now, I know for a fact that working with AI can be frustrating, but you are still the human in the loop, and it still saves you a huge amount of time. And this will be the way that people will start to do it. But as I've always said before, it's not just about ChatGPT and asking simple questions. It is really using your AI as a work colleague. So that really makes a massive difference in what you're doing. And as I said, if you can increase your productivity, you have the choice either to be more productive and make even more money, or have more leisure time. And because AI is such a huge jump, I think in my last video I tried to get my hands right, such a huge jump. So instead of the human doing, the computer doing this much and the human doing this much, we flip it on its head. It really does open up the possibilities for what's going on. And just to finish off today's video, I don't know anything about driverless cars, but I like Matthew Berman, and as part of his clip, he actually had a small clip here on self-driving cars, which I don't know whether any of you have seen them, but you're going to have so much time on your hands, you don't even have to drive a car anymore.
Sense, but hopefully she follows.
Okay, so we'll have a look at
Next,
this.
Waymo just crossed a major milestone, 100 million rides. Now, during our team's recent trip to San Francisco, we used Waymo all over the city, and it was incredible. In fact, it was surprising with how quickly I got used to and trusted Waymo, even more so than human drivers. The first trip was a little nerve-wracking, but once I saw some of the subtle nuances in its decision-making in day-to-day driving, I was completely blown away. Little decisions like, oh, that car looks like it's gonna pull out of the driveway, so I'm just gonna give it a little bit more space. Or I can't quite see over this hill I'm about to go down, so I'm gonna slow down. And there were so many little decisions like that where it just felt like a human driver on steroids. So congratulations on 100 million rides. I can see a very easy path to getting to 200, 500, and a billion rides.
Okay, I'll finish it there. I thought that was really cool. I've never seen a driverless car from the back seat before. I think that is definitely the way we're going. And I suppose when you think of it, it's going to impact everything, because these cars, like all computer networks, talk to each other, so they know exactly where everything is. So if you've got a city full of automated cars, you're virtually going to have zero accidents, because every other car knows exactly what the other car's going to do. So this is the great future we're moving into. All right, well, I'll leave it there for now. Hopefully I've just updated you a little bit on a few things. I'll get back to you again shortly in another video. But yeah, just remember, AI is definitely an emerging technology that you need to understand. Regardless whether you want to adopt it, at some stage you'll have no choice. It's not coming for your job in the next month. You are going to be working with the AI for a long time. I can see it's going to be a process. There will be some knowledge jobs that are replaced very quickly, as we know. But at the end of the day, it's good being human. It's good being alive at this time. It's very interesting to see how the whole world is going. So we'll see what happens, and I will catch you in the next one. Thanks for your time.